Hello and welcome. My name is Mark Blatstein, the physician founder of Physician Pre-Sentence Report Service. I too spent time in federal prison. So if you are indicted, you're going to trial, you're already in prison, there are things that we really need to know, especially if you're immunocompromised, you're diabetic, you've had cancer, you potentially have had an organ transplant. This particular strain, and this first picture that I'm going to show you, is the strain of COVID JN.1. And what it shows, and the reason I'm bringing this up, is that in the West is where the spike is now coming from COVID-19 or COVID-19 with this particular strain. And you can see here, these are two pictures. One is showing where the most amount of spread is in the South, which is brown, and in the West. And so here it is color coded where this is the particular strain of JN1. And so it's really important not to forget where we came from. And so in 2020, where we had this outbreak of COVID, which was actually the tail end of 2019 into 2021, just 1 million people died. A lot of them were preventable. And the majority of them were in the southern states and in the western states. And here you have these particular graphs that I just already showed you. They're smaller version of them. And we all know that having people 6 feet apart is unlikely. We know that masks worked. I don't know what people are telling you or what you hear about on different news sites. And so being in confined places, like a cruise ship, but being in prison incarcerated, it acts as a breeding ground. It's nowhere near as deadly as it was then. But, and I'm going to end here, Centers for Disease Control, and they're showing that these states where the epidemic is beginning to grow, likely growing, this is in southern states up to Pennsylvania, it's pretty serious. And so if in fact you find yourself immunocompromised, and right now, I don't believe the Federal Bureau of Prisons is doing preventative testing, if you will. They haven't started their, they have a COVID modified procedure that they go through where they begin testing. But you need to take proactive steps on your own because it's your life. I mean, the Bureau of Prisons doesn't have the best healthcare that there is. And so with this increase in influenza, which is the flu, COVID, the only way you're going to tell the difference is by testing. And if you can't, then you may want to be able to insist on being able to get masks. You're not going to be able to isolate. And if the only isolation really is going to be available, complete, is going to be putting you in the SHU or in solitary confinement. And so not to, make everyone crazy. It's not the disease that it was several years ago. But if you have a premonition for, or you know that you're immunocompromised, diabetic, maybe not controlled, you have had an organ transplant, you have cancer, or you fit into one of these groups, it should be brought up long before your pre-sentence interview with documentation from your treating physicians. It's a very big deal. I hope you found this helpful. My website is Physician Pre-Sentence Report Service, phone number 240-888-778, 240-888-7778. I hope you found this helpful. Have a good day.